It was just another day for Knuckles as he rested on Angel Island, continuing to protect the Master Emerald because it's the role he's been given. But where did this role come from? Why is he the only one that can do it? And what is the true history behind the Emerald? All these questions are brought up, and I can't be happier. As I mentioned in Tails' story, I'm all for characters developing, so exploring Knuckles' past sounds great. But right now, it's the present. And presently, Knuckles is failing at his job because the Master Emerald breaks, letting loose both Chaos and Tikal. We try to give Chaos the old 1-2, but he evades us and books it out of there. This leaves us all alone, while Angel Island falls into the ocean in this very nice looking pre-rendered cutscene. So we end up in this city, and whoa, Knuckles, are you doing what I think you're doing? Okay, good. So we head out to find the shattered pieces, and after entering a warded off area, we arrive in Speed Highway, which just makes me realize that Speed Highway ends at the town square, which leads into Station Square, which is actually a really cool way to connect these places. But now it's time to get to the gameplay, and just for some background context, before I played as Knuckles, I was scared that the gameplay would just be slow and clunky based on what I've previously heard about it. Luckily though, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Knuckles is just as fast as Tails in this game, which is a great speed to be at. He also has this nifty glide that's able to cover a lot of ground, and his climbing is fast and weirdly satisfying as well. Knuckles also has these punches that aren't very useful, but they're able to interact with the environment, which is pretty cool. All in all, Knuckles is actually a really fun character to control. I should probably stop worrying about these things, as it is a Sonic game, so why would they make a slow character? On to Knuckles' mechanics, these too I thought would be an issue. His whole style is that he's looking for the Master Emerald pieces, which are randomly hidden in 3 parts of the stage. I thought this would be an annoying game of hide and seek, but yet again, I was mistaken. This little tracker at the bottom here tells us when we're near a shard, and it works really well. There's 5 colors it can display: blue, green, yellow, pink, and red, all progressing in color in accordance to your proximal location to the shard. Not only that though, they also pulsate and beat faster depending on if you're closer. So if you're at green and it's only beeping a little bit, you'll know you're not really near it, but if it starts to go faster, you know you're heading in the right direction. This tracker really works and gives you a great idea of where the emeralds are, making Knuckles' gameplay a lot of fun. I really do like that it requires both the calculated movements of your king and the boxing potential of someone vigorous, which is also known as chess boxing. Yeah, it's a real thing, look it up. And this level is over really quick too. Great first stage, and if they keep up this type of quality, this story will be just as fun as the others. So we're back in Station Square, and after a kind of neat use of Knuckles' abilities, we're able to enter Casinopolis. In this stage, instead of exploring the pinball machines, which is a shame because I know Knuckles is a huge Knights fan, we end up exploring the areas up above, which Sonic could never reach. And these areas are really cool too. We have this big old pirate ship with these little guys, we got this copper lion, the Casinopolis sign, and the suspenders up above which house little goodies if you're exploring. I really do love the environment here, as it adds to a previously kind of uninteresting level that's now fun to explore. And there's 5,000 rings we'll never get back. But either way, this level is really cool and pretty fun to utilize the glide in as well. And yet again, we're able to finish it in quite a short time, though we are quickly interrupted by Tikal, sending us back to the past. We get to explore a bit, talk to the other Knuckles, and learn a bit more of their history. Though luckily, unlike Tails' route, the story important cutscene is in plain sight. You see Tikal and Nevermind discussing the use of the Chaos Emeralds to expand their kingdom, which Tikal absolutely doesn't want to happen, but it's clear that her father doesn't really care. Also, I don't know if old Pac-Man over here has no pupils or is just forever closing his eyes. I don't like either answer. We're taken back to outside the casino, and we're able to continue our quest. So we go to the alleyway to get the... oh wait, no. We see Eggman in the lobby holding a shiny nothing in his hand, which to Knuckles is a Master Emerald piece, so we give chase. We confront Eggman up in this dining hall type place, where we realize it's just a useless Chaos Emerald, and not what we're looking for. Because Eggman's bored, I guess, he gives the emerald to Chaos, telling him to take Knuckles down. Knuckles recognizes Chaos as the creature that destroyed his emerald, and he's not going to get away with that, so a fight begins. And hey, we get an actual new Chaos boss fight, and this one's pretty cool too. You gotta keep moving because Chaos becomes this big old balloon destined to attack you, so it becomes a game of running around and waiting for Chaos to tire himself out so you can lay a punch or glide into him. I know that sounds kind of annoying, but it's really not, and trust me, they could do much worse. Also, this fight makes pretty good use of Knuckles' glide, which is good to see considering Tails' flight didn't really get integrated into any of his fights. We win, and as a reward, Eggman babbles us some juicy gossip about Sonic. Apparently he's after the Master Emerald pieces as well, and after taking a long walk 10 centimeters away, Knuckles decides to go find Sonic to get to the bottom of this. Luckily we don't have to do this, cause the game just sent us right there. Oh wait, not yet. First we gotta get the Shovel Claw, which again can just be found by a little exploration and talking to the NPCs. And this move gives us the ability to dig. We're able to dig up this handy monkey destruction switch to blow up these chimps blocking our path. This leads us into a red mountain. Now this level is big, probably the biggest standalone open world area in any story so far. But this is absolutely not a bad thing, because Dekal is here to help. Yeah, if you give Dekal a little bump, she'll lead you right to the gold. This works in every single level as well, and it really destroys any argument trying to say that these levels are confusing. Just go to Dekal if you don't know where to go, there's no shame in it, it's in the game for a reason. Yet again, they didn't want the player getting lost, and while I definitely would have found the emerald eventually, this just makes the process a lot faster, and I really appreciate it. Without Dekal, I feel these levels would have been a lot more annoying, especially bigger ones like this, so I'm glad she's here. The level itself is a lot of fun too, providing us a big space just to glide around in, while also keeping its focus. Good stuff. And now we can finally fight Sonic, because it appears he has one of the emerald shards. I know some people think that it was dumb for Knuckles to fall for Eggman's tricks again, but I actually like this misunderstanding. This time, Knuckles is given direct evidence that Sonic's up to something. Yeah, this could have all been avoided by just talking it out, but Knuckles as a character isn't really a talker, he's a fighter, which ensues our fight against Sonic. I guess Tails just lied about his encounter. This is even easier than Sonic's story, it doesn't take a hero to do this. We lose the Chaos Emeralds to Eggman, and after realizing we've been tricked, fight Chaos 4. Yep, this is the 3rd time we fight this 4th generational being, and it's still the exact same fight. Why not give the boss different attacks based on the person we're playing as? Like have him jump into the air for a little bit so Tails can go fly up and hit him, or maybe have him hide underneath a lily pad so Knuckles has to use a dig ability on him. I don't know, something like that. Because as it is, this just feels lazy, especially because this boss is so horribly dull. Oh well. ECELWL. And this W is going to the jungle. Here we find this gold statue, which we're able to place near Lost World, but there's still one missing. You know what that means, jungle exploration. Whee! Yep, it's another scenario where you just gotta look around. At least we know it's somewhere in the jungle, but that still doesn't really excuse it. And this is kind of the first time the game has used an artificial game lengthener. This is basically when the player is meant to do an action that takes a lot of time, isn't fun, and could easily be taken out and nothing of value would be lost. But this one isn't that bad, because there are other things of interest to be found along the way, like this emblem and a new power-up. Yep, there's just one sitting up on a ledge. These are the fighting gloves. They're a nice shade of yellow and give us a new attack that I really can't see myself using. In order to use them, you gotta hold B for 3 seconds, and I don't see how that'll be more useful than me just using a regular attack. Either way, it is still cool that there's this power-up just out here that I don't even have to get. Now that I think about it, the crystal ring was also something I could have skipped too. Huh. Well, we're back in the hunt. And this is a good time to bring up something I haven't really mentioned yet, the map. Yeah, this game has a built-in map that shows you your location and the location of landmarks. It's really helpful in this mission because you're able to see there's little cave spots hidden around, one of which containing our key. Though to my knowledge this isn't accessible in the original version, so it still sucks there, but hey, this director's cut actually adds something good, and it only had to be traded for proper lighting. So we put this key in its place and enter this whole new level. This level is pretty fun and works well with Knuckles' glide, making something that took a while with Sonic be completely arbitrary. There's not too much to say here other than that though, it's a fun enough level, but doesn't have too much that stands out. We're taken back to the past, where we see Dekal trying to tell the Emeralds to leave, I guess, but they can't. So it appears she's running out of options, and considering what we saw back in Sonic's story, I don't like where this is going. We're sent back to the present and return all the shards we've collected, but it turns out there's still a few pieces unfound. Luckily, the Emerald shows us the egg carrier, which I also guess is how it was able to talk to Dekal, maybe? It doesn't matter. But how will we find this fortress, you don't ask? Well, luckily Gamma is on the run out here, and after quickly following him, he leads us to Eggman's secret base. Which takes us to the egg carrier that I guess is just taking off despite already being in the air before? Maybe need more gas? Do airships even take gas? Why am I thinking about this? So as we know, Eggman changes the ship's shape, so we have to go through the sky deck, which is conveniently in Eggman's pool. Don't ask. So Skydeck's main mechanic is that there's this lever that's able to tilt the ship, which is useful because some emeralds can be hidden behind things that only open when the ship is tilted, like these doors. This is a pretty cool gimmick, and gets even cooler when you realize the reason the ship was tilting in Sonic's story was because of Knuckles here. This is the only time I've seen one story affect the other gameplay-wise, and I wish there was more of it, because it was really cool to make that realization. Other than that though, this level isn't exceptional or anything, but it's enjoyable with a fun little gimmick. So we obtain our last emerald, and while sliding on Eggman's buttery floors, Dekal sends us back to the last one past time. It appears that Dekal failed in her mission to stop her father, and that's why this place is all burned up. Before we're able to get any more information, she just runs off. And that's it. That was actually pretty cool seeing the story progress like that, though I don't really know how that helps Knuckles. Speaking of the old Knux, he sees Chaos 6 explode thanks to Sonic and goes over to investigate. I Unfortunately, Sonic has some diving lessons he has to attend to, and he leaves us with Chaos 6. So our final boss is this fat cat, and as I said before, I like this boss. It's not much change from Sonic's story, except that there's these 2 missing panels, I guess to make you utilize the glide. Something that does get well utilized though, are the fighting gloves. Using the gloves, the boss only takes 2 hits, so we give him the true 1-2 and he's out of there, leaving the emeralds behind. After gliding off the ship, we return back to Angel Island's island and restore the Master Emerald. This allows Angel Island to float once more and for Knuckles' mission to be complete. And Knuckles, after experiencing so much since the beginning of his adventure, decides maybe it's best if he didn't know why he's here. Which is actually a weirdly mature topic. I mean, he was shown what went on in his ancestors' past and how devastating things became. Maybe he's just okay accepting a fate he doesn't quite understand, because he frankly just doesn't want to know. Which really brings up the topic of whether or not, oh my god, this is the game with the Knuckles rap. If you know anything about Sonic memes or whatever you want to call it, you would have definitely heard this before. And it's pretty strange actually hearing it in game, especially for a credits song. It's really ridiculous, but hey, I don't mind. It's a little treat for getting to the end. So, how was Knuckles' story? Pretty good, I'd say. Yet again, this game goes into detail with its characters, first showing us a new side of Tails and now Knuckles as well. I really like the way Knuckles' plot unfolded, especially the use of Tikal flashbacks that contributed to his ending. But disregarding the story, the gameplay was also great. Each level is quite quick, especially if you ask Tikal for directions. Looking for the emeralds was pretty fun thanks to the radar and not too big level design. This story in general was a lot of fun, and while again it doesn't beat Sonic's story, I'd say it's on the same level as Tails' which is a great level to be at. If you enjoy exploration and some quick levels, definitely give Knuckles a try. His story might not seem like much, but once you get into it, there's a lot to enjoy.